It's ringside right here on WGSO, 990 AM, WGSO.com, and, of course, your ticket into the show. 504-556-9696, brought to you by our friends at JanPro, Southeast Louisiana. It's jan-pro.com for more information. All right, he's staying in the program. We have a ringside all-star who checks in with us, and on Tuesdays, very pleased to have with us publisher of Bayoubuzz.com, Steve Sabludowsky, who's with us on the hotline and also on Google Talk right there on Bayoubuzz.com, so you can see us online and also, of course, listen in. So, Steve, how are you? Good morning.
Hey, Jeff. How are you today?
All right, doing good, Steve. Thanks for being with us. We're back on the Google Talk this week, and I'm looking at the TV, and Mary Landrieu's there debating the Keystone Pipeline on the floor of the Senate. The vote is supposed to be coming up in a few hours. She's working on her 60th vote to try to overcome a filibuster. She's got 59 now, according to my reporting. So what do you make of this, Steve? Is this last-minute, desperation, or do you think it's something that's really going to help her?
Well, yeah, it's last-minute desperation. Will it help her? I think some. Will it be enough? No.
No. You think, is there anything she can do? Is the die cast?
Yeah. I mean, I'm afraid to say that because, I think we're losing a lot in terms of any type of, real stroke that we have for at least about 8 years, 10 years. Maybe longer, but I don't think she's going to win. I don't think she has a shot.
Are you coming out and making an endorsement for her?
No. I'm just saying that. What I'm saying is, I wish Bill Cassidy would discuss the issues, so I would know exactly what he stands for, and what he's going to do about some of the things that I'm really concerned about. But he's not doing that. And so that being the case, it's only fair for me to have my own concerns, my own personal concerns.
So you think she's discussing the issues?
Oh, so much more. Yeah, absolutely. Again, I don't like their commercials. I don't like her commercials. As I mentioned last week, I don't like the commercial she did, which mocks Cassidy. I'd consider that to be a personal attack. I don't think those are really. I don't value those in the marketplace of ideas of government and politics. But look, when somebody just stands behind that 97% all the friggin' time and doesn't answer any questions, doesn't talk about the issues, then it's hard for me to just rally around the guy and just say, look, I have confidence in him, and I'm sure that you would feel the same way, Jeff, if he wasn't a Republican, and if Landrieu wasn't a Democrat. In fact, I've heard you say that. So, it's logical for me to have concerns along that line.
I've supported lots of independents and Democrats over Republicans. I mean, I've never been a fan of, some of these Republicans I think are phonies, rhinos. But this gentleman, I think, he's got a voting record, so we know where he stands. He's been he's elective office 8 years, 6 years in Congress. He's got an 85% American Conservative Union voting record. I'm comfortable with his voting record. I'd like to see more debates. I think there's just going to be one. I'll call for him to do more debates in the primary. He did too. So, I guess we'll be just getting one debate from them. I'd love to have him on the program more often. I've met him personally many times. He's always pleasant. But of course, I'd like to see more. My decision is based on Landrieu and her record, and the fact that I think she just doesn't represent us, and I just think she needs to go.
I understand that. I understand that, and she made her bed, and she's sleeping in, and that's what I've said, whether it's in Washington D.C. or New Orleans.
Right.
But the thing is that, in my opinion, you don't. I mean, in your case, like what you're saying, and I think in everybody's case, you're voting against somebody, and you have a right to do that.
Right.
That's a legitimate reason, to go and vote. But you're not voting for, this guy, other than the fact that, the American Conservative Union says he's got I think a 93% conservative record, or I should say, record against Obama.
Yeah, I'm saying his overall conservative record's 85, which I think is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, and Vitter has, I think it was reported 33% record or something like that, or 32, 31, but in the low 30s with President Obama. So I think that what you see is more in the Senate. I think the number does go up in terms of voting for the president, no matter what the situation is.
Right.
Because Senate, why would Vitter have that kind of high number?
But here's what I think Landry would have benefited from, Steve. This kind of maneuver that she's doing on Keystone today, which is last-minute stuff. I mean, if she had been doing this kind of thing years ago, if she had been standing against him on Obamacare, if she would have been truly sort of independent, like I think John Breaux was, more of a 50% ACU voting record as opposed to a 20%. Then I think we'd be looking at a different dynamic here.
Look, I'm not going to debate that. I do think that because there's nothing you can say to debate that. I'm not saying that her votes were wrong. I personally believe that on some of her votes, I think that some of her votes were right. Okay, but in terms of Louisiana politics, in terms of her winning, obviously Louisiana and Mary Landrieu, are
worlds apart,
or not, worlds apart. So that's her record, and she has to live with it. My biggest concern, to be honest with you, two issues. Issue number one is that if we have another major storm, and I know that Katrina happened 9 years ago, which means maybe that it's going to happen, or something major is going to happen sometime soon, just as the odds go.
Cyclical.
Are we going to be there? Are we going to have people in Washington, D.C., who know the ropes, who know what to do on the Senate side, who have the relationships, and who have a voting record, who can bring home the money, and you call it bacon, other people call it bacon, and I'm calling it money that everybody wanted after Katrina? Or are we going to have that kind of stroke? And I say no. Okay?
Well,
yeah.
Look, it was 40 years between Betsy and Katrina, and hopefully we've got another 30 years before a major storm like this to build up.
Yeah, but we had quite a number of storms. And since Betsy and Katrina, I mean, the thing is that we did have Gustav, and we had Ike, and we had Rita also.
Right.
So that's three major, and then we had the other storm a couple of years ago. So those are four storms post Katrina. We needed federal money then, and we have a U.S. Congressperson running for U.S. Senate who has already said that he voted against. I think it was the Isaac money because of what he called pork.
Right.
But guess what? Okay, I mean, the thing is that those congressmen and senators in other locations around the country are going to say, "I'm sorry, Mr. Cassidy, Dr. Cassidy, Senator Cassidy. Where were you when we needed your help?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way the game is played.
Well, and I think a lot of conservatives make the point that some of these hurricane relief bills include pork barrel spending for places like Iowa and places like Vermont that aren't even in the danger zone, that aren't even
and that's the argument. But they have tornadoes, and but I mean, Alaska has volcanoes, and
the whole process needs to be changed. I mean, we don't have the money, Steve. We're $18 trillion in debt. We don't have there is no money there. There's no money there.
Well, let's get out of
the money is not. We have to live within our means. So
let's get. I understand that. I understand, but let's cut back on those things that are not critical.
What has Landrieu done to cut back on anything? She doesn't. She's not.
Well,
not a fiscal conservative. She believes in higher taxes. I debated her last time she was on this program.
She believes in a strong military. She believes in a strong military. The thing is that what I'm saying is that, what is most important to us here in Louisiana? Okay, well, spending when we need it. Spending when you and I need to rebuild our homes and our streets, but that's not what
Louisiana is all about. Looking for the federal government for money after a storm.
Better believe,
that's
Jeff,
a horrific
you better
event that hopefully will not happen for years. But we can't be electing someone because she's going to bring in more money if there's another hurricane. But she's stands against our values on everything from abortion to immigration to guns to taxes to spending to healthcare. She's against us on all of that, but she'll bring in more money, so we're going to vote to reelect her?
No, what I'm saying, I'm not asking you or your listeners to vote for Landrieu. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm concerned about two major issues, okay? And I hate the idea that we're not having these kind of discussions, okay, because of the way the politics is played today.
Yeah.
Okay, whether Republicans or Democrats run.
Poor politics, Steve. Her politics has been very poor.
Yeah, and I'm saying election politics, the way that it's being played. Sure, and again, like I said, she has to live with it. But that's that. Nevertheless, I believe that there are two major issues that we need to consider here in South Louisiana and throughout Louisiana that we're not considering because you're calling it pork, okay? And I'm sorry. I mean, when we have a major catastrophe and we know it's coming, okay, you're going to be the first person,
you want
Jeff.
Her there, we might have a storm 30 years from now. You want to elect her now because she'll be there in 30 years?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Okay.
You don't know when it's going to be.
Ike and Gustav. We had Isaac. Okay, so we are prone for these kind of conditions.
And because we have hurricanes, she's better?
That's one of the issues. Yes. It's much better than somebody who said, "Hey, look, you can't have any money because I consider it to be pork." Yes, absolutely. For that issue alone, yes, she's much better, and that's an issue that does concern me.
All right.
I mean,
that might be one of a wide array of issues that can be looked at. It shouldn't be the primary issue, and it shouldn't be. I think it should be the deciding factor in the election. I think her body of work. You have to look at her voting records, Steve, over 18 years. What has she done over 18 years? She is constantly not representing the people.
I think she's done a lot over 18 years. Okay. But I also believe, as I mentioned to you, that she voted in ways that were against or not consistent.
Is she up there to serve the people or serve her party? I mean, who is she up there serving? Is she our public servant? I mean, isn't she supposed to represent us? And she clearly doesn't.
Yeah. That's a very good question.
Is that a pretty basic issue?
I think that's a very basic issue, and I think that is unresolved in a lot of different offices where we say, hey, how come you're not voting for us? And they say, because I'm voting for what I believe in. Okay, now I'm not saying that she's right for that. I'm just saying that, that is, I guess that's what, she and others do
and
when they're up there.
At election time, you're gone. And when we say you're fired, there's no tragedy in that. That's just the way the system works. When she doesn't represent us,
and
she should go.
And the system can work like that. I'm not saying that it shouldn't work like that. Mm-hmm. I am saying that we should discuss these issues, and it shouldn't just be you and me on talk radio. It should be Bill Cassidy and Mary Landrieu talking about all these different issues. We it's about agriculture, whether it's about, say, hurricane protection, whether it's about bringing resources to the military in South Louisiana, tourism, and all these various issues that are federal, state related.
Judicial
and we're not hearing
Obama appointments, Obama agenda,
absolutely.
the EPA,
Absolutely.
climate change, all of that. All right,
all of that, and we're not hearing it.
Steve Sabludowsky with us, Jeff Crouere here. Our talk line 504-556-9696. Let's go to the lines right now, and we'll kick off with our friend, the Flaming Liberal. Flaming Liberal, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeff. I know it's been reported on your program from a right-wing rag of a website that U.S. forces are handling cleaning up vomit and emptying bedpans in Africa with Ebola patients. I can tell you for a fact, last Thursday in the Washington Post, it was reported the only role U.S. forces are playing in Africa is providing logistics, delivering supplies, and constructing buildings. I highly suspect that information you disseminated from that right-wing rag of a website is totally false information. Now, Jeff, as a God-fearing, peace-loving Christian, and as a point of privilege, since I feel my safety has been threatened on this program, I would like a clarification.
Who threatened your safety?
Nasra Enzi, and I'm proud of my name. I use my name, David Bellinger. Nasra Enzi, known as Captain Black.
All right, you're obsessed with him.
15 boot up my backside. Now, the only thing I did was, and I can say I did not have a criminal record. David Bellinger does not have a criminal record.
David.
Nasra Enzi, Captain Black, said that white liberals, I guess like me, are responsible for black people being in Angola. I simply inquired, does he have a criminal record?
All right, and you know what? That has gone over multiple times, and I think you're obsessed, and I'm not going to spend any more time on it. It's ridiculous. The man is a contributor to the program, and I'm rejecting your attacks on him. Focus on the issues, Flaming Liberal. There's a lot to talk about. There's an election coming up, and you're talking about his background? What I know is the man is a great contributor to the program, a great ally for the city of New Orleans, and we're glad to have him. So let's move on to some topics that we're discussing. 504-556-9696. Live Wire joins us on the program. Hey, Live Wire. Good morning, sir. How are you?
The truth reigns supreme. This is from the book of Isaiah. It is written, chapter 55. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto Yahweh, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me, Yahweh. Hear, and your soul shall live, and you will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. And this is the key scripture here. Behold, I have given Yahweh, the Savior, for a witness to the people, a leader, and a commander to the people. Leadership, very important. God directs us to have leadership in our life, the leadership that he gives us through communication with him and acknowledging. In fact, I'll read one more passage of scripture. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call up ye upon him while he is near. Again, focus on the Lord. He gives us direction. We have people called politicians, one particular one who is getting ready to be replaced in Louisiana, and that's not because she is being voted against. She is being removed. She is being replaced for being a Satan-worshiping scumsucker. Just like, in fact, now she'll have plenty of time to think about what she's going to do, since some on this program suggested she might make a vice presidential candidate with the other Satan-worshiping scumsucker, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton will not be president.
All right, and she will not be vice president. All right, my friend, appreciate it. That's Live Wire. More with Steve Sabludowsky, more of your phone calls, 504-556-9696. But first, a brief timeout.
I'm Michelle Sano-Tucker, best-selling author of Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth, and I'm looking to partner with entrepreneurs who possess incredible business acumen. This multi-billion-dollar industry has little to no competition and a six-figure income potential. With extensive training, ongoing support, and transaction mentoring, you'll be in business for yourself, not by yourself. If you're serious about earning high income, call us at 504-525-1717.
Come join us at Jiggers Bar and Grill this football season. Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. We have 50-cent wings and $6 pizza, $10 for buckets of domestic beer, $15 for imports. Ladies drink 2 for $1 on Thursday, and happy hour is daily, Monday through Friday from 12 to 7. The bar's open 24 hours Thursday through Saturday, and the kitchen open late till 5 a.m. at Jiggers Bar and Grill, 1645 Veterans Boulevard, 1 block before Bonneville. See you soon at Jiggers.
Everyone knows that the city of New Orleans has the best food in the world, and obviously we're known for the best music in the world. But we're also known for producing some of the best coffee in the world, and no one does this better than New Orleans Roast Coffee. And I should know. I'm Felton Jones, the roast master of the city's well-known PJ's Coffee and New Orleans Roast Coffee, the city's newest and freshest brand of coffee on the market. At New Orleans Roast, we put an emphasis on quality and freshness in every cup. You can find all of our great creations at the city's finest restaurants. Also look for it at your favorite local grocery store.
Owning gold will be great, but only the rich can afford it, right? Not any longer. There's a safe, simple, secure, and affordable way to create a gold savings plan for you, your children, or even your business by exchanging paper money for 999.9 pure 24-karat gold bullion. For more information, go to goldsavingsplannow.com. That's goldsavingsplannow.com. Again, that's goldsavingsplannow.com.
It's another edition of Ringside Politics with a Punch and Jeff Crouere. We're on the air right now. The topics are hot. The host is cool. And we're waiting for you to shed some sunlight on our vast listening audience. Call Jeff Crouere now at 556-9696.
All right, Steve Sabludowsky with us, Jeff Crouere here. Limited time, lots of calls. Let's go to Bill in Mandeville. Hey, Bill, how are you? Good morning.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, I asked you guys this. In 2008, Senator Landrieu cut a deal with Jack Strain in St. Tammany Parish for his support. What do you know, Mr. Sabludowsky, of that deal? And do you know if Senator Landrieu is getting the support of Jack Strain again this go around? Thank you.
I know nothing about it in terms of cutting a deal. I know nothing about it. What information do you have about it?
He's asking. I don't think he knows either. He's asking you.
Okay. I don't know anything about it.
504-556-9696. Phil the Patriot is with us next. How you doing, Phil? Good morning.
Hey, fantastic, greatly blessed. Pleasure to be on the air. Listen up, brothers and sisters. Mary, quite contrary. She's got to go. This woman has got to go. To me, she's an evil person. In fact, I just recently got a figurine of Morticia and Jezebel from the Bible, and if I can figure out where to mail them, I'm going to mail it to Mary Landrieu. But let's get on to something else. I've been talking a whole lot about storms this morning, storms like Betsy and Katrina. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a veteran survivor of Betsy all the way through Katrina and past Katrina. So many storms that I can't tell you. I thought I rode them out here, and sometimes I left and evacuated. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. They've been stealing and squandering money from the taxpayer for many, many, many years. It should have been used to continually build up our defenses against these storms and improve our drainage and help our people. Instead, this money is being used for things like Operation Planned Parenthood, Operation Mexican Invasion, Operation Communist Corps. Sooner or later, brothers and sisters, another storm's going to come this way. And I hope you're very prepared for it. Ah!
Phil the Patriot. All right, I think we have time for one more call, Steve. Let's go to, let's see the list here. James in Metairie. All right, James, you have the final word this hour. Go ahead, sir.
Well, Jeff, there's not enough time, but I want to say this. I hope when the object of the flaming liberals' attack calls in and attacks him, that you will also tell him to focus on the issues.
I tell that to everyone, yeah, instead of personal attacks. I don't want to get into personal attacks. I want to get into the issues.
And then drop him off the air as you did with the flaming liberal. Now, I'm going to say this. A call was made earlier today talking about President Obama being a laughingstock. Well, folks, let me tell you about something being a laughingstock, and that's the consistently failed last place ratings of the 10 o'clock news on ABC 26 WGNO. You can verify that for years. They are in desperate, locked in last place, 6 times less fewer ratings than the leader, WWL. Check it out, folks. Steve, comment for you. I heard a discussion yesterday that when Mary Landrieu loses, and she will, and Edward Edwards loses on December the 6th, there will be no white Democrats in any position in Congress in the Deep South. 9 states of the Deep South. Now, turn the tables on that, Steve. How would the Republican conservatives, like it if there were no Republicans in 9 Deep South conservative states?
All right, we have limited time, Steve. Just a few seconds. Quick response.
I think you have to blame the Democrats for that too. Yeah. I mean, Democrats.
That's a good point. With that, we got to roll. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it very much. A lot more coming your way at 10 o'clock hour. We'll be right back.
Ken Trahan